Approaches to stalls. Imminent stalls, power on or power off. An imminent stall is one in which the airplane is approaching a stall, but it is not allowed to completely stall. This stall maneuver is primarily for practice in retaining or regaining full control of the airplane immediately upon recognition that it is almost in a stall or that a stall is likely to occur, if timely preventative action is not taken. The practice of these stalls is for particular value in the developing the pilot's sense of feel or executing maneuvers in which maximum airplane performance is required. These maneuvers require flight with the airplane approaching a stall and recovery initiated before a stall occurs. As in all maneuvers that involve significant changes in altitude or direction, the pilot must ensure that the area is clear of other traffic before executing the maneuver. These stalls may be entered and performed in the attitudes and with the same configuration of the basic full stall or other maneuvers described in this chapter. However, instead of allowing a complete stall when the first buffeting or decay of control effectiveness is noted, the angle of attack must be reduced immediately by releasing the back elevator pressure and applying whatever additional power is necessary. Since the airplane will not be completely stalled, the pitch attitude needs to be decreased only to a point where minimum controllable airspeed is attained, or until adequate control effectiveness is regained. The pilot must promptly recognize the indication of a stall and take timely positive control action to prevent a full stall. Performance is unsatisfactory if a full stall occurs, if an excessive low pitch attitude is attained, or if the pilot fails to take timely action to avoid excessive airspeed, excessive loss of altitude, or a spin. Full stalls, power off. The practice of power off stalls is usually performed with normal landing approach conditions in simulation of an accidental stall occurring during landing approaches. Airplanes equipped with flaps and or retractable landing gear should be in the landing configuration. Airspeed in excess of the normal approach speed should not be carried into a stall entry since it could result in an abnormally nose-high attitude. Before executing these practice stalls, the pilot must be sure the area is clear of other air traffic. After extending the landing gear, applying the carburetor heat, and retarding the throttle to idle, the airplane should be held at a constant altitude in level flight until the airspeed decelerates to that of a normal approach. The airplane should then be smoothly nose down into the normal approach attitude to maintain that airspeed. Wing flaps should be extended and pitch attitude adjusted to maintain airspeed. When the approach attitude and airspeed have stabilized, the airplane's nose should be smoothly raised to an attitude that will induce a stall. Directional control should be maintained with the rudder, the wings held level by use of the ailerons, and a constant pitch attitude maintained with the elevator until the stall occurs. The stall will be recognized by clues such as full up elevator, high descent rate, uncontrollable nose-down pitch, and possible buffeting. Recovery from the stall should be accomplished by reducing the angle of attack, releasing back elevator pressure, and advancing the throttle to maximum allowable power. Right rudder pressure is necessary to overcome the engine torque effects as power is advanced and the nose is being lowered. The nose should be lowered as necessary to regain flight speed and return to straight and level flight attitude. After establishing a positive rate of climb, the flaps and landing gear are retracted as necessary, and when in level flight, the throttle should be returned to cruise power settings. After recovery is complete, a climb or go-around procedure should be initiated as the situation dictates to assure a minimum of lost altitude. Recovery from power-off stalls should also be practiced from shallow banked turns to simulate an inadvertent stall during a turn from base leg to final approach. During the practice of these stalls, care should be taken that the turn continues at a uniform rate until the complete stall occurs. If the power-off turn is not properly coordinated while approaching the stall, wallowing may result when the stall occurs. If the airplane is in a slip, the outer wing may stall first and whip downward abruptly. This does not affect the recovery procedure in any way. The angle of attack must be reduced, the heading maintained, and the wings leveled by coordinated use of the controls. In the practice of turning stalls, no attempt should be made to stall the airplane on a predetermined heading. However, to simulate a turn from base to final approach, the stall normally should be made to occur within a heading change of approximately 90 degrees. After the stall occurs, the recovery should be made straight ahead with minimum loss of altitude and accomplished in accordance with the recovery procedure discussed earlier. Recoveries from power-off stalls should be accomplished both with and without the addition of power and may be initiated either just after the stall occurs or after the nose has pitched down through the level flight attitude.